Welcome to Hot Flash Chronicles, where midlife is messy, menopause is madness, and we're sweating through it together.
We're Angie and Shelly, two caffeine-fueled, slightly inappropriate grandmas who say what everyone's thinking.
So grab a drink, crank up the AC, and let's dive in.
Hey, Shelly.
Angie,
Guess what?
let me guess. New podcast.
Yes.
Yay!
My favorite time of the week. We get to record a new podcast episode. What are we talking about today?
Okay, this one's going to be fun. It's a little different,
It's going to be fun.
but it's going to be fun. And it's called Clueless with Angie and Shelly because you have
Are clueless?
maybe just a 10. You have selected an article or something you've seen recently that we're going to talk about. I don't know what it is.
It's like the randomizer.
It's like
So
a
she's like,
randomizer.
pick an article that that you find amusing or informative or something.
Mhm.
And then I think she did the same.
I did.
Okay. So we don't know what each other's articles are. So we're going to share them. Can you imagine if it was the same?
That would be, well, maybe
Be spooky.
it could happen. We
It's
never know.
unlikely.
It's unlikely.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to read yours first. We're going to talk about yours first.
Sure.
All right. Let's do it. So you sent it to me.
I did.
All right. Get the picture of my dog. Oh, yeah. I just got the picture of my dog off here, and there's another picture of dog. Family left stunned when their dog escaped, only to return later with a ribbon from a dog show.
Yes.
That,
So this family in the UK,
oh, this is amazing.
their dog, Bonnie, I think was the dog's name.
Their dog Warden.
Warden. Okay. So Warden escapes. So the couple is...
Oh, wait, hold on. They're looking for the search for little Bonnie. So maybe you're
Yeah,
right.
it was Bonnie. Okay.
Okay, Bonnie.
So Bonnie escapes and they notice that the gate is ajar. They call animal control. They call the police. Like they're looking everywhere for hours. And Bonnie returns hours later with a medal from a dog show. Now, let me tell you how this happened. Guy was on his way to a dog show with his own dogs, came across Bonnie and was like, I need to find this dog's owner, but I'm going to have to do it after the dog show. So takes Bonnie and enters her in the stray, I think was the, like,
Which is that, ironically,
right.
that would be the thing.
Right.
Yes.
So
Registered into.
finds this dog, picks her up and decides like, oh, I'm going to enter her in the dog show as well. Then finds out who her owners are and brings her back. And she had placed third in the category of strays and rehomed dogs. So this dog escaped their yard or whatever
Had an adventure.
and comes home with a ribbon.
That's perfect.
I mean, the range of emotions that must have happened,
Oh, I know.
it goes from absolute shock and horror to pride and confusion.
Yeah.
Just like in
Which is basically pet ownership in a nutshell. That's my life every day. So what happens for me when I find stray dogs?
Have you ever entered them in a dog show?
No, I just take them home and they become
Why not?
They become mine.
I
My
think
dogs can't be in dog shows.
no, not your dogs, the ones that you're finding on the side of the road.
No, they just become mine.
Why you just own them?
I just end up, well, I see if they're chipped first. And then,
What if, hear me out,
Yeah.
on your way to seeing if they're chipped, you see if there happen to be any local dog shows going on?
I might give it a whirl. I mean, why not?
Isn't that a feel-good story, though?
That's actually heartwarming.
So I had a few choices.
You know, before I let these people know that their dog is fine, I could just call them now, but I think I'll make them wait a bit.
This was in the subject.
Enter them into a dog show.
Isn't that
A
random?
piston show.
Little Bonnie came home with a medal.
They might be having a heart attack right now.
I feel like
Worrying
that's a
about
lot for the guy that found her. I feel like that's a lot for him to take up. There's probably an entry
are really kind. Like
probably
now,
an entry fee.
Yeah.
But
it's a good.
like the headline grabbed me, obviously.
Well, yeah.
It was like, wait, how exactly does a dog escape from the yard and come home with a ribbon? Because
That's pretty good.
did some shakedowns happen in the alley?
Dogs are not talented enough. First of all,
talented at morphing.
To escape.
Yeah.
They're not talented enough to escape. They're their own bodies. They're not going to do that. They're old and incontinent, so they're not going to win any contests for that.
Maybe there's a category for old incontinent dogs.
And humans. We could probably win those too.
I'm really caught. Whoa, that was...
I am when I laugh.
That's
too
fair.
hard.
That's fair.
So...
Or cough or sneeze.
It's the true...
Or bend over.
Oh.
Or laugh.
Wow, okay. But you're fine. You're not...
Oh, just now. No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
Except for all the time. Other than that, I'm not
breathing.
I'm not. So I went a little bit different with my selection.
Okay.
And
I have a couple runners up too.
Okay, great. So why do people not understand I'm doing a podcast and just want to keep
texting you? Here's
hot
take.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Just flip that little thing down.
Let's flip it.
Wow.
I don't know if it does that. Well, we'll go to mine.
What's Shelly's article?
So my article, I went with a little bit different direction here, and I am going to be doing some of this with you. I found this and said, "Ooh, these will be fun to just reveal live."
Oh,
so the question I had asked when I was searching for my article was just weird stories. So this is what came up. It actually gave a list of weirdest romance novels. And
oh dear.
Here we go. Near and dear to our heart. So I'm going to tell you a little snippet.
Phrase of the month.
I'm going to tell you a little snippet of what the name of the book is and what it's about. And then you're going to tell me if you would read it or not. If you would actually maybe get into this book, this weird romance. Okay. So this is a detailed look at some of the weirdest romance novels. The first one is called Unhinged.
I'm in.
But wow, that was just a title grabbed you. By Vera Valentine, which is a great nom de plume.
Yeah, it's definitely their
this
God-given name.
Features a character who is a literal door. So
wait, can I retract my lens? Redacted.
Nope. Now you have to read it. Okay.
Redacted.
The next one also.
Wait, hang on. The main character is a door that becomes unhinged.
Well, it's in a romance. So it's apparently these people fall in love with this door. The door is a character.
Wow. Actually, I unredact. I do want to read that just because I need to know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. Well,
that's weird. That's real weird.
Amazingly, the next
No shame. I'm not yucking your yum if you're into doors, but I'm a little bit yucking
into doors. The same author has a number.
I'm sure.
Who is also on this list. It's another Vera Valentine. Going to give her a shout out. Maybe we should be. And the name of this one is Squeak. And this book explores the romance between shifters in the form of balloon animals.
What? Okay.
These might be for people who have very specific.
That is a very niche kink.
Balloon animals.
Balloon animal squeak is the thing that makes you rev your engine. Like,
maybe.
Wow.
We ain't no judgments.
Okay, I'm feeling a little judgy.
This next one is by Claire Delacroix.
Like the seltzer water.
Yeah. And this one is called The Unicorn Bride. And it is a man pretends to be a goat to hide his face from his bride, leading to a series of increasingly bizarre events. Imagine that. That you're masquerading as a goat and weird things would happen.
So he's in love with a human woman.
Yeah. And
he decides to dress up like a goat.
Pretends to be a goat to hide his face.
Hide his face. Did she fall for it? I guess we're going to have to read it.
We're going to have to read.
There's a unicorn come into play.
No idea. But this sounds like a
I think I'm going to have to read this before our next episode.
The Unicorn Bride. Claire Delacroix. Like the water. Okay.
Hang on. That reminds me of one of the other articles that I almost chose.
We can go back.
This one happened, it was like last year sometime. So these people submitted an insurance claim that their car had been broken into by a bear.
Oh,
right. And it was all scratched up. And it was like, as I remember, it was a very expensive
fancy
car. And it had like claw scratches.
It's like a unicorn car.
Turns out, and the people who made this, who filed the claim, the people who had the vehicle had video evidence
That the bear did this.
that a bear did this.
Okay.
However, upon review, it was in fact the owners of the car dressed as bears. Yeah. So it was.
Were they like doing a keep?
No, it was. They wanted to file this insurance claim. So I want to know what kind of editing they're taking to like. Here's an idea. Let's dress up like bears. We need some money. We're almost out of pizza. So we should
hold on. Should we be telling people this? Because maybe.
No, I don't think this is going to be our path to financial freedom. I don't think so. Sorry, I didn't mean to burst your bubble. So it was pretty obvious in the video, which I have in fact watched.
It's not a real bear.
Not a real bear.
You better have a pretty authentic bear suit.
Authentic bear.
Would that be a crime? Like fraud or something?
It is in fact insurance fraud, and we do not condone that here. But it is good for amusement if somebody else is stupid.
I think it's great that someone gave
the guy trying to be a go reminded me of the people trying to be an insurance claim. And
don't do this at home.
Do not do this at home. And also, not if you do this, because you shouldn't do this.
Don't do it.
But wouldn't it have been more hypothetically, wouldn't it have been more clever on their part if they didn't have video substantiating that it was a bear?
Or use AI.
Because if there wasn't a video, I feel like it may have been, it could have been easier to prove. But I think there was something that the claw marks matched. No, they matched something in the claimer's home. Oh no, I can't remember what it was.
Oh, because like they read the.
It was like their salad tonguey things or something. So it was like the spacing was not realistic to bear claws, but they were able to find. Oh, now I'm gonna find the deets on it because it was like they went to ask them questions, and like the thing that had been measured perfectly was sitting in broad view of the insurance adjuster. If one does, don't keep the claw thing. B, maybe don't provide video thinking it's going to authenticate your story when it could in fact not authenticate it because you're not a bear.
Implicate. So
that's what
if one was going to commit fraud, which we are not condoning, don't do it.
Not.
Don't do it. But if one hypothetically was, I would suggest that one do research. And
you don't want that on your history.
I didn't say that.
No, I mean if somebody was going to do that, then don't they check your internet?
Yeah. Go to the library.
To make
Go to the library. I don't know. I'm not a criminal, but
in your article history says how to make it look like a bear crashed your car.
Well, go to the library. Or do it on your friend's phone.
Don't do it on your friend's phone. Are we about to have our first fight? Okay, carry on with your book. I just had to because that was story 2 of my 3.
Okay, so these are. This next one is called War and Pestilence, which doesn't sound romantic to just. It doesn't sound very romantic. By Laura Thalassa. This romance.
That's not a pen name, I'm guessing.
Features characters who are initially perceived as evil, but are then redeemed, surprising the reader. Okay, that sounds like a regular book. That doesn't sound surprising.
It's plausible.
That doesn't. How is that romantic? That's weird. I don't want to read.
Initially perceived as evil, but are then redeemed.
Surprising. I don't think
surprising the reader.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
I've been redeemed.
What?
Okay.
What? Okay. The Club and its sequels by Lauren Rowe. This book is cited as one of the weirdest romancers recently read, says a commenter on Reddit. But then they didn't tell us what the fuck it's about. I want to know what the Club is about.
Dare you click the link?
Oh my God. I'm so scared. I'm clicking the link, people. No.
Oh, that just opened up a search for the Club.
No. Oh, the series? No.
Watch the Netflix?
No.
Nope. Okay.
The internet has let us down, people. Sorry. Not Another Vampire Book by Cassandra Gannon. A book editor is sucked into a romance novel where
that in quotes.
No, I just made it. Well, I thought it was funny. Play on words. Where the MMC is the villain of the story. Huh. Okay. That sounds boring.
Yeah.
A ghost walk tour guides romance with a ghost on the tour. So the lady falls in love with a ghost.
Is it Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore?
Yeah. It is.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't, okay, you guys, not that word, they're lame. Okay, Transcend. This book explores a woman's vivid memories of her town from 15 years prior, which she doesn't remember experiencing.
Same, first of all.
That's my whole life.
I don't remember where I lived 15 years ago.
I don't remember where I lived Auburn 15 minutes ago.
You were sitting with me here.
Okay, good.
Because I think we're about...
Okay, so that time
we're 15 minutes and 37 seconds in.
So the last one is called The Girl Who Cries Colors by Raven Kennedy. The book tells the story of a girl who can cry tears that reflect colors. These are not weird romance novels. None of these. I could.
Well, okay, The Door. That was weird.
That was weird.
And what was the second one?
The second one was Squeak, the balloon animals.
Also weird. I mean, also a different genre than I would choose is what I meant to say instead of weird. We're not yucking anybody's yum.
We're not yucking anybody's yum. We're not. If you want to have a thing about balloon animals, that's fine. Do it. We're not here to condemn you on that. Okay, so did you have any other ones?
I had a third one. I really kind of couldn't decide which one to send, but then when I saw the dog that had won the medal, that's obvious. So there's a riveting article about toilet paper direction. Over under. They did an actual study on it of which is better. And it seems that people are very close to split.
Okay.
I am somebody who throws caution to the wind, and whichever way I'm holding it is the way that it goes on. I don't have a lot of energy on whether it's over or under. I used to be.
I prefer it over, but if it's under, I'm not going to complain. Like if I'm
over was the winner in functionality, and more people voted for over.
Right.
I don't have that much energy on it. Do you know what I actually am? I'm just setting on top of the thing and hope that my husband puts it on the actual little
thingy.
It's
there unhinged
thing because I hate doing the free thing. It's like
she has a free range toilet roll.
Free range toilet roll.
It can be anywhere. You just hope it's nearby so you can grab it.
Yeah.
Okay, your story reminds me of something. I think you're going to find this entertaining. Phil and I actually found this a few years ago when we were going to take our dog to get groomed, Chi-Chi. And I had told him that one of the options on the menu of getting your dog groomed was that they would clean the anal glands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
for small dogs.
For small dogs especially, it helps them.
I don't want that job.
So it was a little expensive. So
I don't blame them for charging a lot.
So Phil went out and found an article on how you can do this at home, and it had
always the thrifty one. That guy, you know what? Take my $20. I don't need to learn how to do that.
So it had several steps. It was like a pamphlet, and if I can find it again, we'll link it.
Don't Google it.
It's hilarious. It's like cartoonized, but some of the directions say things like, "Go invite a friend or neighbor to your house."
That's not. Hey, I'm the lady that brought you cookies 6 months ago at Christmas time. My name's Angie, by the way, and I'm needing a little bit of assistance. Would you come help me extract whatever's in my dog's anal glands?
Express my dog's anal glands.
How do you start that conversation? I don't know if
you're supposed to ask a friend.
I wouldn't even ask you to do that. Like, Shelly, you want to come over because Ahsoka needs her anal glands.
You know what? Let's do some sourdough bread. Let's make some sourdough bread. Let's make a glass of wine.
Now you use anal glands and sourdough in the same conversation ever again.
And then, maybe we can...
No.
Okay.
Hard pass.
So it says to ask a friend over, and then there's more. It says things like, you might want to put on a raincoat.
Oh.
And gloves. So you have a couple raincoats at your house for you and your friend.
Raincoat.
And then
how much is
you make? I mean, you make your friend go into the shower or something that has a door I'm not lying.
Stop it.
I'm not lying.
Wait, okay. So at the groomer, do they have a shower and raincoat situation, or are they just like out on the
Free ranging.
Where does it go? Oh my! Oh, I'm getting nauseous. Oh, okay.
So,
everything's fine. Everything's
put
fine.
on your full bodysuit scuba diving gear, wherever it is, a raincoat.
No,
Ask your friend over and find them into a closed small closet or shower with the dog.
Remember a few episodes ago when I said, like, if we get to the age, I would be okay with changing your diaper.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever ask me to touch your dog's butthole.
It's not his butthole. It's glands. It's different.
So when I was in my car accident about 9 years ago, major car accident, couldn't walk for months, horrific. Shelly and her husband came over. You guys were dating. You weren't married yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Phil is this super calming, like, British man that's just very, like, chill.
He's got a very chill.
Shelly was the one that showed up for me. Like, that's one of the reasons she's my best friend. But they were there to help. And then I think it was like 2 days after the accident, I was up in bed, and Phil is reading me because I was super PTSD'd, and
you needed some distraction.
I was a disaster. And he starts reading me a book from the Oatmeal.
Yeah, from the Oatmeal, which is a great cartoon.
Yeah, it's like satire.
It was about his dog.
Yeah, and it's like a dog's schedule is like, what is it? Like 10:50, lick butthole. 10:55, inspect, super clean.
Super clean.
11 o'clock, lick Matt's face. Love that guy.
Love that guy.
It's like,
and his dog Rambo. That's the name of the dog. Look up the Oatmeal, look up Rambo. There's a whole book.
Oh my God. But hearing Phil, as I'm sitting here, like literally on one of the worst days of my life, he's sitting at the foot of my bed reading this, talking about a dog licking its butthole and then licking its master's face in this warm, soft British accent, and done so like super clean. Lick Matt's face.
That's love that guy.
It was very.
He did a dramatic reading.
He did.
Maybe we'll get him to do that for us on here.
He'd love it.
But so look, random things like, so when your friend texts you or, hey, Angie, like I would text Angie because she isn't going to call. She's not going to answer.
I have crippling phone anxiety from said accident, so don't ever call me. I won't answer.
Don't call her. But text her and say, hey, Angie, want to come over and hang out with me and the dogs? Wink, wink.
No,
nudge, nudge.
no. From now until eternity, I know to say no.
And if you walk in and I hand you a raincoat, if you come to my house.
Okay, also, your dog will literally fillet my arm if I go near him. So,
well, you have not big rubber gloves, though.
Rubber gloves are not stopping Chi-Chi's teeth, Shelly.
That's true. It's got a little razor blade. Yeah, you should be. Chi-Chi doesn't really see how aggressive he is.
Real aggressive.
And he's like 10 pounds of fur and fury. He's got enough teeth left.
Fur and fury.
Yeah. But let's say tens of you out there who are our fans, and we do a fan gathering. We might do a fan gathering at some point.
No, wait, hang on. Let me preface this with Shelly is not going to ask our listeners to expel, what's it called? Empty her dog's anal gland.
Here's the thing.
It took a weird turn.
If you show up at the meet and greet and there's a bunch of raincoats and rubber gloves,
say no.
Don't assume anything bad is going to happen if you're
We should do an episode on setting boundaries.
If you're asked to go into the shower or a small closet and one of my dogs.
So if I invite somebody in the shower, it's a very different scenario.
Oh, no, that's the scenario where you're getting invited into my showers. There's a dog, a raincoat, rubber gloves, and an anal gland expression gonna happen.
They should charge so much money to do this. Yeah. Can you imagine that being part of your job is to just like swish stuff out of dogs' butts? Like that doesn't.
They should be paid more.
I
don't know what they're paid, but they should be paid more.
I'm grateful that there are people that are willing to do this.
But you know what else?
Not.
You could also work retail, which is just as bad. It is. I work retail.
Oh, Shelly.
There were days when I worked retail, if they would have said, do you want to help this old lady find the yeast cream on aisle 6.
Oh my God.
That's a real story. That's real.
For another day.
For another day. But, or would you rather express this mean chihuahua's anal glands? I'd be like, no, those sound terrible. This is my life. Yeah. Retail's not great.
Okay.
So that was all random.
That was very random and very explicit. We're going to need a different rating on this episode.
We might say,
I don't know what to do.
Be eating lunch.
Maybe like crying the rock in the corner episode. It started out with a heartwarming story of a dog who won a ribbon.
You know, we like
but
to
then we
take you on twists and turns. We ended up with the dog's anal glands. We started out with the dog. We ended with the dog.
How did we get there from toilet paper direction?
Because it was directions on the toilet paper, and then I remembered the directions.
Okay.
It's how our menopause brains work.
Oh my God.
I like this episode because it's twisty and turny and kind of gross.
It is kind of gross. It's more than kind of gross. It's pretty gross.
Well, we'll
But
put
it's
a
okay.
rating. We'll put a rating. It's gross sometimes.
We want to, before we do our rapid fire questions, we want to say we do not condone, hopefully you can't hear that siren. Holy smokes, that's loud. We don't want to condone dressing up as a bear and shredding up your Maserati.
We're silent on that one.
Trying to file a claim. We do condone if you find a stray dog entering them into a
We're fans.
dog show before you find their rightful owner, even though that might
Take
get
a
said
little
on
side journey.
Well, just a little sidebar. Yeah, just a little jaunt.
Why not?
Super quick. Don't keep them for weeks. Just like
Yeah.
Shelly. And like gold star medal to those of you who do dogs anal.
Groomers, you groomers out there, thank you for your hard work. You need a raise.
I hope we never say anal this much in the podcast again.
I hope we do.
A little much. Okay, rapid fire questions. You start.
All right. Are you a Jello or a pudding girl?
Pudding. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
We always start with food, don't we?
Always.
If you were a fruit, which one would you be and why?
Oh my goodness. I want to be kind of one of those funky, weird fruits, like what are those prickly
dragon fruit?
Yes. Are they the red prickly?
They're like hot pink on the outside, white with black seeds in the middle.
That sounds good.
They had a lot of that in Australia when we were there a few months ago.
So it has out
copious amounts of dragon.
I'd like to be an unexpected fruit.
Okay.
I think that one's unexpected.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So now we try to do non-food ones after that. Okay. So Angie, if you were a car, would you be a classic, like maybe a 55 Thunderbird, or
I do break down a lot.
Or would you be something like a new, very modern, techie electric car? Not the T1, but any fancy electric one.
I think I'd be the fancy electric one, but I think the reality is I'm probably a classic. I would love to be the modern one that has bells and whistles and features, but I feel like I do break down a lot.
But you still look good.
Yeah.
And that's what a classic is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you could have lunch with any sitcom actor, actress, who would it be?
Oh, you know who popped into my head right away? Catherine O'Hara Moira from Squeak.
That tracks.
Yeah,
that tracks. Ooh, I'd go Danielle Levy.
Oh, can I change it to Danielle Levy?
Redact.
Danielle Levy, if you're out there and you'd like to have lunch and you're a good friend of mine and you'd like to come over to my house, I have some gloves and a ring.
Oh, no, stop. Okay, so did you see, it was like a year and a half ago, Danielle Levy got Sexiest Man Alive?
Yeah.
Did you see the cover photo of him?
I probably did at the time.
Oh my God. So he's in like a bathrobe, lugging a garbage can to the curb full of wine bottles. I was like, this is why I love this man.
Yeah, perfect.
So authentic.
We love Daniel.
Oh, so this has been a very random episode.
Lots of
twerns.
There were twerns, for sure.
I feel like I need
you guys, if you have a random book, weird vampire love story, or balloons,
or if you're in love with a door,
or if you've rescued a dog and taken him to a show, we'd love to hear about it. Like, comment down in the section below wherever you're watching or listening to this, And you're going to see us again soon, hopefully, or hear us again soon.
And we would love if you had a moment to leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. It means the world to us that you guys have chosen to listen to us. So with that, we bid you do have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Ciao.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you laughed, related, or just need more, hit subscribe.
Check out the show notes to find us on socials and YouTube, and join our Patreon for exclusive extras.
And remember,
We're still hot,
just in flashes.